Hey folks, we are back on the Devserver taking a look at the XF5U-1. This is going to be the main prize from the next Dreams Come True event starting in another week or two here. And disclaimer, of course, that this is the Devserver, so everything is subject to change, especially the flight model. If you are interested, you can pause the video here and take a little bit of a longer look at the stat card there. And there are a few things I want to show you before we get this into the air, but I do want to make a special mention of that maximum speed of 700 kilometers an hour. Heavy asterisk on that. You'll see more in a minute here. Taking a look inside, there is an enormous amount of empty space in this thing. I don't know. This might be weird to shoot down just because of how much empty space there is. There's only 2 spars on each side. The control lines go up the middle, large fuel tank, the 6 Browning machine guns, and the 2 engines mounted up in the front. So, I don't know, this could be sort of a weird aircraft to have as a target. But speaking of weapons, we get 6 Browning machine guns with the normal selection of American 50 caliber ammo belts here. And for external loadouts, we can take a pair of bombs. And to be clear, these are mounted externally. They're not in any sort of an internal bomb bay or anything like that. However, of course, being kind of a low-tier prop, there's no ballistics computer or optical bomb sight or anything like that. So those bombs are going to be blind drop if you are interested in taking them. Anyway, let's get this thing up into the air. Okay, so we are going to be taking off in the XF5U-1, and there are a couple of things I want to show you before I really get too far into the flight here. Of course, the landing gear is extremely high, so landing this, you're going to have to come in at like a really severe and pronounced angle of attack in order to avoid a prop strike. So that is a thing. But before anything else, bear with me here and just sort of deal with the dead air while I'm recording. Just watch my airspeed while I'm doing this. I am going full pull into this vertical climb here. Just watch the airspeed. I'm not going to speed this up or anything. I just want you to see this. We are hanging on our props, very slightly gaining airspeed at this ridiculous angle. What's that, like 80 degrees angle relative to the horizon? I mean, the rate of climb isn't going to be super great doing this, but holy smokes, this is nuts. Talk about hanging on the prop. This is a very surprising little tidbit about this thing's flight envelope. Now, of course, the XF5U-1 is a relatively early example of what we would now call a lifting body, where the wings are kind of blended in with the fuselage and the majority of lift doesn't come from conventional wing surfaces. So that gives it some really quirky kind of handling properties. And of course, you're going to see we've got these, what do we call those, elevons in the back, elevators and ailerons sort of combined into one. The rate of roll on this seems fairly average. It's about what I expected, not super impressive. You know, keeping an eye on my airspeed here, the turn performance out of this thing is okay. It's not a UFO despite its appearance, but take a look at that energy retention. It's pretty bad. I mean, I dropped like 200 kilometers an hour of airspeed like almost instantaneously pulling into that turn. I was able to get a pretty good energy turn, but you're going to run into situations into some like elements of physics and aerodynamics that are more common in top-tier fighter jets, where when you pull too hard into a turn, the bottom of the aircraft starts to act as an air brake, and it's going to slow you down there. So that is going to be a thing. No flaps or anything like that. All of the guns are like right on the center line, so I get the feeling that gunnery with this thing is going to be pretty simple. And let's check out the cockpit. Look at this. Very well done inside the cockpit. Very happy to see this for an event vehicle. Highly detailed instruments, easy to read. The gun sight, very nice. I mean, it's not even too obstructive. This bracing isn't really my favorite in the world, but I've definitely seen worse. So I get the impression that with the VR headset, this is going to be pretty nice to fly. Now, I'm going to clip here as I want to turn around and try and land this thing. And get a feel for what it's going to be like coming into land with that really steep landing gear. So just bear with me. So one thing I want to mention as I'm coming into land here, the engine power on this is really decent, and the cooling is also pretty good. I was able to maintain WEP basically the entire time I've been flying this thing around without any sort of cooling issues. All right, we've got a little bit of stability. A little bit of stability issues coming in here. And see if we can slow down without nosing over. Our tail wheel is not touching. All right, there we go. And no nose over. So landing profile was actually a lot better than I expected. I expected to have a harder time with that. Let's bring this back up. I want to do a speed test. Okay, so I have been at altitude. You can check my user interface in the top left there for almost 5 minutes. Just going in a straight line, and I've kind of hit like a little bit of a brick wall at about 680. So the top speed on the stat card of 700, probably accurate-ish, but I mean, it's going to take you a while to actually reach that speed. I think like 400 to 500 under like normal match conditions is going to be sort of a much more realistic speed range for this thing. Anyway, make sure you are subscribed to the channel so that you can check out my full review of this as soon as I can get my hands on it. As always, thanks for watching.